I flew 8 hours to see my friend, only for him to throw ice cubes at me all night and then gaslight me for being weirds when I was mortified. Plus one update. I'm 28 female, and I'm struggling to believe this just happened. I'm mortified and extremely embarrassed. Jason, who is 33 male, and I have been friends for many years. We met at university and were in the same friendship group. We stayed in touch after he flew home to Canada. I always had strong feelings for Jason after we spent hours a day talking. I adored this guy. I thought he was intelligent, funny, and endearing, and I got the feeling he felt the same way. He invited me to visit him and I agreed, as I've always wanted to check out his city. So, I booked my flight and my Airbnb and flew over. A week went by, and I still hadn't seen him. I asked about us meeting up, and he eventually invited me out for drinks with him and his female friend, who I had never met before. I headed to the restaurant, and they were both finishing their dinner when I got there. We were in a booth and they were sitting together while I was on the opposite side. The first hour was fine, but then things got weird. They began facing each other, flirting, and completely ignoring me. Every time I tried to signal that I wanted to leave, Jason would order me another drink on his tab, but he wasn't speaking to me at all. Then Jason began randomly throwing coasters and ice cubes at me. I felt so humiliated. We finally finished up, and I was heading back to my Airbnb when the girl asked me to go back to her apartment with them. I said yes, since Jason and I had barely spoken since I arrived, but the same thing happened there. I was ignored, and then Jason started throwing random stuff at me again. I was about to leave when he asked me to come out onto the balcony with him. I did. I told him I had been asked on a date with someone in the city, and he said nothing. He then suddenly sprinted full-on inside and left me alone on the balcony. Seriously, what was happening? I asked him when he was heading home, and he said he was staying the night with her. Great, so I left. Jason didn't even look up from his phone to say goodbye. I walked home alone at 2 in the morning back to my Airbnb. He then messaged me telling me to get home safe. I asked him if I had just been a third wheel, and he insisted I wasn't, saying that she's just a friend. I asked if he wanted to meet up again, but he declined, saying he's too busy. I just flew 8 hours for that. I am actually mortified. How could he treat me with such disregard and disrespect? How could he invite his hookup buddy along to dinner with us and then spend the night throwing ice cubes at me? My skin is crawling and I feel sick. What is the best way to look at this situation? Because right now, I am humiliated. Update. So, where do I even begin after this absolute nightmare? Unfortunately, I'm now remembering more from that night. At one point, we were in the girl's apartment, and she grabbed his butt and started fondling it like I wasn't even there, while I awkwardly watched from about 5 feet away. I felt completely embarrassed and like I was third wheeling. He then proceeded to stay the night. I walked home alone across the city at 3 in the morning. He texted me telling me to get home safe while I was in total disbelief. And I can't lie, I'm in pain. I adored this guy. I wouldn't have accepted his invitation to fly 8 hours to see him if I didn't. He told me to book a flight, told me to let him know when I had done so, and then later told me to book an Airbnb or hotel and also let him know when it was done. All just for him to humiliate me. We've known each other for years from university, and he has never acted like this before. He contacted me after I flew home, insisting that this girl isn't a hookup buddy and said that I acted weird. Then he proceeded to block me on Messenger so I couldn't respond. I acted weird? You have got to be kidding me. My head is spinning. Is it odd that I feel a bit shell-shocked by this? What the hell was his game plan here? Why would anyone feel the need to act so cruel?